Okay, we're recording.
Welcome to SPSM Unpacked, the after show where we exformate the informative conversation we just had.
Exformatively.
Exformation. Yep.
No one has a clue what the
We're going to work on that.
we're talking about. Yeah.
I got my water.
Oh, great. Tony's back with his Lenmar stuff. Tony, I really just need you to jump in and tell us more about this Lenmar so that we can continue with the conversation. But maybe not tonight. I don't know.
I got my Anchor battery pack, and it was quite successful when my husband borrowed it. I haven't used it actually yet.
Look who's here.
Oh, man. Trouble. In the nice red beanie.
You know what we really missed out on last time was just like ridiculous vulgarity. So now that Des is here, we can fulfill.
We're complete. I mean, we have one more open spot. So if you are there,
who wants to talk shit with us?
Join us.
Yeah.
What are
we talking about tonight?
What is that?
What the heck are we talking about? Was that kimchi?
Guys.
What is that?
What is that? Are you drinking?
I'm drinking soup.
Ramen noodle?
I have never imbibed semen. Thank you. I hope you choke on that.
I won't choke on it. I won't choke on that moonshine.
Is it moonshine again tonight?
That's right.
Woo.
We are talking. So we are following up this SPSM chat with the subreddit Suicide Watch by the mod Anonymous.
That was awesome.
Anonymous mod Laura, who's badass and works on a crisis chat line or crisis line in her day work. So she's like volunteering all over the place, doing amazing, wonderful things, and a really awesome fucking lady or person. I'm not sure. What'd you say? She gotta be real tired.
Maybe she needs a nap, kind of like you.
Me?
So
which one of us?
Both of you.
Reddit every once in a while. I've actually seen this a few times. Like they for the uninitiated, they do a thing called Ask Me Anything, AMA, and I've seen a few times they've had crisis line workers jump on and do an AMA,
really?
And it gets like really, really popular. People really dig it.
I haven't seen those. I like try to keep up on the AMAs, but you are much more tuned to it.
I read the important AMAs like the Wyclef AMA, where everyone.
The which one?
The important
Kanye West AMA.
Oh yes, yeah. Or the infamous the ones that just go really poorly. So like celebrities will jump on and try to do like promo for an upcoming movie or something. Yeah. And then it falls apart. Yeah. Woody Harrelson has an epic, long-standing, notorious one where he was trying to. I don't remember the name of the movie. It's like rap art or something.
I didn't see that one.
But yeah, so he gets on there and people are like, "Hey, what about this? What do you eat for breakfast?" And he's like, "I'm only talking about the movie." But yeah, so no.
Ask me anything about the movie.
But I won't actually tell you anything about
the movie because I want you to go see it.
Right.
We'll tell you. Ask us anything. AMA will tell you anything. Look, shit. I'm just putting it on her.
Most anything.
What? Can I ask a question?
Which one? Which one?
What was your first experience like? I'm making this super, super dramatic with Suicide Watch.
Mine?
Either of you.
I found it on a Google search early on in this work, and I wasn't quite familiar with what it was, and I found it super overwhelming. But I loved the sidebar, where she was sharing, what Suicide Watch is, what the, guidelines and rules and resources and all of that was. And I followed a lot of what Laura has posted because she does great work. And it really inspired me to better enhance what we're doing. And I think I incorporated some of what I learned, or, it kind of built on what I had already been learning working at the crisis line. And it was really fucking cool to have her on tonight, because she's a real person doing really awesome things.
Yeah. A faceless real person.
Faceless. I love faceless real people. I'm the best of friends with faceless real people.
I know.
I like the idea that Bart had for like sorry.
Cool.
Sorry.
Too many of us.
Had to go there.
Chris, go.
I like the idea that Bart had for an ASCOD P&R with her.
Yeah.
And just like, turn off the lights, do the witness protection thing. That would be excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, could she be in a darkened room with a face modification?
We'll wear a Guy Fawkes mask.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, she should wear the Wookiee. She should wear that Wookiee mask if we want to be of the moment. She's going to be on Good Morning America tomorrow, talking about her Wookiee mask.
I can't.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and Dr. Mike Sevilla let me know that I could be a viral star. So that's my next goal in life. That's what I'm going to work on.
One of us needs to go viral, so that, something that we have to.
We don't want viral diseases. We want to go viral on the internet.
America. Instead of.
It's a good distinction.
We want to draw that line.
Yeah.
a Crispin Glover mask.
Oh God.
She can name herself Bart Andrews. We should all name ourselves Bart Andrews. I still have ideas to mess with Bart Andrews.
I already put the paperwork in for my name change. So
for Bart.
You're going to be Dr. Bart Andrews. Not because Bart Andrews is already taken, so you have to be Dr. Bart Andrews.
Doctor.
On paper. Legally. Are we doing a SPSM Dateline edition? Of course we are. I don't even know what that means. Wookiee mask. Noises.
You don't even know.
Woof.
You don't even know.
Didn't even know. How do I scroll up on this? I'm still learning.
Des, what was your first time? What happened? Okay, let me.
Well, my first time I was watching.
No.
That is a true story, though. Anyway,
okay.
We're gonna stop recording now.
I don't remember my first experience with Suicide Watch.
Okay. Well, because you've been on the online communities for a really, really long time, right?
Yeah, but Reddit freaks me out, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It feels like the internet in 1998 still.
If you do it on mobile, or if you do it on the desktop, yeah, it feels like you're going back to Zanga or something. But
yeah.
Well, that and the interesting. Yeah. Oh God, what year is it? But yeah, they. Yeah, I think what we were talking about earlier, one of the first things that Laura posted about how there's the true helpers, there's the narcissists, and then there's the trolls.
I love it.
And that's just three types of people that are on Reddit. There are, and you see this stuff all the time. There's really, really amazing stuff that happens on Reddit. Huge amounts of money is raised for. A while ago, there was this cool pizza campaign. If somebody was I'm really down and out, and I don't have a place to live, or I need some food or whatever, people would just send 10 pizzas or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's really interesting, really powerful, awesome stuff that happens, and then there's just really shitty, terrible stuff. You had to get the shirt in there, didn't you?
Shirt. The internet. Oh, nice.
He was wearing Suck at Suicide tonight, so Tony.
But the nice thing about
I'm doing a lot of jazz hands. I saw Bring It On recently.
Because you have to, right?
I'm acknowledging it. I don't know what to do with my hands.
The nice part about Reddit, though, is that so you do have those terrible, shitty people on there all the time, but typically because of just how it works, they get downvoted really quickly. Especially if they're just being really negative all the time. So it kind of they have the moderators, but it really kind of it kind of equals out at some point. There's some homeostasis that develops in every single thread. It's really interesting. Unless Hillary Clinton's people get involved, then it's just
a mess.
Correct the record. Look it up. It's terrifying. I am not endorsing any candidate by saying any of this.
I'll just let you guys.
Except for maybe
I did not vote for her.
We could make a pact and just all vote for Trump.
Yes. He's going to save the world. So.
Don't you encourage Bart. Don't encourage Bart.
No. All right.
All right.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Let's move on. No, we're not political here.
Yes,
we have an open seat. If you want to join us in this ridiculousness, call in now.
Over there.
Right. I'm down.
Over there.
You're over there? I'm over here.
You're over there.
Where am I?
What are we?
I feel like the Brady Bunch.
Yeah. Well, we need one more person. We need Jan to jump in.
Somebody come play with me.
You know who could be Jan? Jennifer Battle.
She would make a good Jan.
Make a good Jan.
But I like Jennifer.
I like Jan.
Yeah, Brady was annoying.
Lies.
Hey, what happens? Okay, so I haven't been on Suicide Watch in a long time, but what happens? So let's just do a breakdown of what happens. Let's, unpack this. Guys, no. Sorry.
Stuff to unpack for you.
Sorry. Yeah, so you jump on and you see a whole bunch of stuff that is really
heavy duty,
intense.
Yes.
Yeah. So just like this is the front page, and so there's examples are I've been suicidal for years, but I've never had the courage to act on it. That's an interesting. There you go.
Yeah.
There's the first one. That says a lot, right?
Yep.
Des, you're smiling. I want to know what's going on in that head.
I think that's an interesting statement. I think it's I don't know how much I should say.
All of it.
I don't know. The courage. That's true. It's kind of a courageous act. We think of it as weakness, but you really have to be feeling something really intense to try and break your body down.
I think that highlights what Laura was sharing about Joyner and his theory of suicide, and the ability to act.
The fear factor.
Yeah, or the fearlessness that comes with it.
Right.
It's a terrifying aspect.
Yeah, and the good thing about the subreddit is that people can go there and talk about that.
Yeah, and the value in discussing it openly, anonymously, seemingly finding some support, or at least like some safety, like the love puppy was discussing, that they didn't want really answers. They didn't want somebody to be like, I'm keeping you safe.
Right.
But they wanted them to hear them, and that's really what we hear a lot of on the crisis line. And when I train on and share with those the newbies that come in to this work, or just generally anybody who comes in is like, my friend is suicidal, what do I do? Oh, well, here's the 3 steps that are going to save your friend's life. 1, don't be a dick. 2, hear them. 3.
Are we writing these down? Fucking writing these down?
We're recording now.
Ears.
Watch it back. Hey!
Wait. What was 3? What was number 3?
Number 3 is there are no steps. You got to find what works for the person. And not everything is going to work for everyone. If I can get a statement, I'm going to get a tattoo. Not everything is for everyone. There are many different ways to approach suicide prevention and finding it for the person with them collaboratively as best we can.
I like that was Laura's final thought, was that we need to find ways to connect with what did she say, the thinkers.
Yeah.
Instead of the touchy-feely boxes. Because, the moment you start going touchy-feely on me, I'm like, fuck you, I'm out. No.
I touched and feel on you, girl. I woke that bitch up in the morning. I was like, wake up, Mom and Dad! Show me your boobies!
It was basically just
naked.
And I was naked.
We have an open seat.
Bitch has no shame.
No shame. We have an open seat if you want to come talk suicide watch on Reddit with us, and all that is that we are here to discuss. Whether you are friends with us and know us, or if you're just stopping in and being like, I'm a blab, what is this about? So SPSM Unpacked. We do a Twitter chat called #SPSM and find out more, spsmchat.com.
Ooh, that's such a good commercial.
I went to radio school.
Here. Yep.
Wait, let me get mine too.
I'm not slowing down.
I drink Pepsi.
Which of these three is not the hipster?
2
of 3 have a mason jar.
Oh, am I a hipster? I went to a what did I go to last night? I did a lot of things last night. Oh, I went to the Mortified show in Detroit, like their inaugural show, and it was so freaking cool, and it was so filled with hipsters, and I thought I needed a flannel and some like Doc Martens to fit in. So I sat in the back.
If I lived in Detroit, I would be layering my flannels all the time because
flannel on flannel.
Yeah. Like 1993 all over again.
I love it. All right.
And now I have the Portlandia song stuck in my head.
Oh, put a bird on it.
Guys, I'm wearing this hat because my hair is a wreck. Look at this, okay? I
that is
myself
amazing.
today.
It's looking good. It's looking good.
Hat. FY.
It's looking good.
So I'm just gonna.
That is a sweet hat, by the way.
Huh?
That is a nice hat.
That is a sweet hat.
I look.
Give us a link. Give us a link to that hat. Where can we buy that?
That is really.
Let's be single white females here.
No, then we would need
Okay.
Okay.
I'm being too excitable.
Did you just get in trouble?
Was it Adam?
Oh no. Oh no.
To his favor, we do have a very small house. So
don't wake up babies.
Yeah.
So moving on.
Yes. Okay. Can I re-highlight that list again because it was amazing.
Don't be a dick.
Yep.
I don't remember what.
Listen to your friend.
Oh, yes.
Or just listen.
Listen with your ears, don't talk.
3 was there are no steps.
There are no
steps. There are no steps.
Or maybe 3 should just be like mic drop. And I don't know.
Done. I'm out.
3 is if you're not sure what to do, just keep listening.
Yes. Yep.
Shut up and listen.
Shut your whore mouth and listen.
That's it.
Yes.
Quentin, I see you watching us. Come join us.
Come play with us.
Call in.
Yeah, that like touchy-feely stuff though that she was talking about at the end, and then so like there was that comment, and then like I was getting ready for this, so I couldn't keep up with your interactions with her about, and then I guess like the behind the scenes show latched on to the ivory tower thing, and I wasn't sure what was going on with that, but like I know that's been a kind of a back and forth concern for you for like a long time, but like in this context, what were you talking about?
I mean, when I reference the ivory tower disparagingly, it's like only half-hearted because I have so many academic people that I love, but a lot of the suicidologists specifically, and especially in some stuff that was going on the listserv recently, will use their work to hide behind. They will hide behind their work in such a way that makes it very clear that they're not friends of lived experience, like Mr. False Equivalency. I won't name names, but it's frustrating because to me, I really do think that life inspires art and life inspires science. The questions we ask in the science that we choose to follow comes from our lives in most cases. Yeah. We're curious about. So that's why I get on about the ivory tower, because it's just like, hey, we're all people here, chill out. Like, remember that we come from the same place. And it's really unhealthy to stay there and forget that the people you're studying are still real people.
Yeah.
That's a weird, and that, like, hearing you put it that way too, like that we're studying. I don't like that term when it comes to like people. I mean, yeah, we do that with a whole bunch of other shit, like anything else that we're looking at in society or otherwise. We're studying people,
right?
But it seems like way more, cold or like insensitive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, that's one of the things that really like concerns me about doing research on Live Through This. Because, you know, when you have to write an IRB, it's like participants or subjects, and I hate it because we're just people, you know. But
right.
The scientific lexicon or whatever doesn't really allow for that, and it feels humanizing.
Tell them they need to quiet down.
Ladies, inappropriate timing. Canna's here.
Oh, look at that thing.
Oh, Canalita.
What does the pooch there think about the lexicon?
She says it can fuck itself.
Canalita does not swear.
Yes, she does.
She only loves.
She has a foul mouth. Look at this stuff.
Mm-hmm. She's very dainty paws.
So one of the things that we've talked about a lot, either in SPSM or like I guess in other contexts, but like this idea that research, when you try to disseminate research to people who are being affected by it, or even the people who are being studied, you get this dense bullshit most of the time, and it's full of like, I mean, I'm not dogging on anybody's research at all.
That should be understood.
However, use social.
Yes.
We need. You remember this paper? It's an amazing the Joiner's last paper about eusociality.
No.
It's an amazing concept. It's the derangement of eusociality.
Oh, yeah.
And going on and on about it, and it's a really, really interesting concept. And like you said, Des, I mean, these are concepts that are brought up by things that we experience every day or people that we talk to every day. So these ideas are born out, and then we're trying to figure out like, okay, how can we parse out some of what's going on? That's fine. But when we start seeing these papers that they have to like have sub definitions for like different terms, and the whole like first 4 pages are just like objectively defining certain things. It gets out of hand really quickly. And so when you start trying to disseminate it to people who like on a lower level are using a lot of this philosophy and knowledge, like if we want to start making things like applied in any sort of like a sense of that word, then we have to start using language that people understand.
Yes.
And isn't fucking offensive. Right?
Can somebody give me a definition of normal, please?
Normal is abnormal. It's a setting on a washing machine.
There's that. I think we would do really well to have people who live in a place where they just take the research and turn it into human words. We need a middleman.
It all has its place though, and how we interpret it and how we it's also how we perceive the world. So if we are communicating differently than somebody else, then that can get lost in translation. You know, we can disagree without being disagreeable. And I think that varies from person to person, because some people can hold what their work is really tight and close, which I think is what we find when like people like butt heads.
Yeah.
Like they're very defensive and protective of what they're doing. So, you know, if somebody comes out seemingly attacking it, not coming at it like, oh, you're just your wonderful work that you're doing. Your work is super valuable and it's amazing. Anybody who's doing, especially the suicide prevention work, suicide related work, it's incredible stuff, but we need to make it relatable and understandable so we can utilize the information that's being shared and the research that's being done, and broadcast it, because people should know about it. People should know what's happening and be able to use it to improve services and, make it into the history books.
Yeah.
It could be a defining moment.
Yeah. Suicide, that's what I call you, said something good that people can't even agree on the definition of a suicide attempt, which I think is really interesting because I came across that in my work probably a couple of years ago now. I interviewed somebody who, based on how I defined a suicide attempt, didn't fall under that definition. And for me, it was suicidal thoughts and any kind of action, because I think the severity hierarchy is bullshit. So this person, identified as an attempt survivor. And so it became one of those things where it's like, well, I think the identity, feeling that identity is more important than the action itself. Ursula is a good example. She's not technically an attempt survivor, but she's one of our loudest voices.
Yeah, and she does awesome work at Now Matters Now.
Right.
She employs people with lived experience to provide.
Yeah, so it's the identity. I think the identity is important. And I was complaining about this recently when I got in trouble on the AAS listserv, is it's really disheartening when we can't agree on language, when we can't agree that people with lived experience are valuable, when we insult them in places where there are other suicidologists. And it's like, if you as a community of people can't agree on, people who are doing this work specifically can't agree on the most basic of concepts, then how are you supposed to do meaningful work within the community? And that's really concerning to me.
While still honoring the perspectives, experiences, and voices of people who have fucking been there.
Well, yeah.
Right? Like that's you've got to get one of those things down really well before you can really start doing the other.
God, we can fucking agree on the C word.
Right. So I've heard people, that courage thing came up earlier, but I've heard people use commit in a very similar sense, that you have to be committed to doing this action or to have the intent. You have to be, there's a level of commitment, right?
Yes. I
know.
Feel like that's not generally where people are going with it.
Right.
But yes.
And it's not where it comes from.
Right.
Yes.
Tony says we should broadcast from conferences. Totally believe you. But broadcasting from conferences takes man hours, takes funding, and takes time. And we're doing the best that we can with the amazing live conference and reporting that we're doing now. But yeah, we need more of it. And I wish that could be built into conference costs. But conference costs are pretty pricey as they are for a number of reasons.
It's really expensive at a conference.
Yeah. It's really expensive. And it's really expensive to hire people because people need to, fulfill their roles and livelihoods.
Well, hiring people, that's a novel concept.
Yeah. And having good content, having good, we want people to get to be able to live their lives and pay their bills.
I always aim to put mediocre content out.
Yeah, but it takes money. It takes money. This work takes money, and a lot of us are doing this for free because we care and we're moving it forward, and we are seeing a lot of changes because of the stuff that we're doing and posting it and sharing it and tweeting it. And that's the value of social media, is the availability to share it, but to do it professionally and to do it wider, that takes a lot more investment. And we are taking time to put it. 13 to 18.
And which one is really better? You know,
I hear you, Tony.
When you're talking about being effective with this, is the professional one better, or is the on the seat of your pants, this is what is going on right now? Which one is actually putting out the more effective message, or the more effective like support? You know,
are they mutually exclusive?
I don't know.
No.
I don't
think so.
Maybe not.
Suicide brought something up just before Tony shared that. But so I totally understand not wanting to name who isn't doing a good job with lived experience. Any researchers that you think have done an amazing job with supporting lived experience? Is that what you were talking about with
Laura
Ursula?
Fry and Rebecca Sanford.
Conveniently on Delivery Project.
Working with. Yes. I don't know.
It's really a new field. It's really a new kind of way to engage those that have been there, that are living with suicidal attempts in their history and living with suicidal concerns themselves, whether that be from an attempt or just living with suicidal thoughts. I've heard some people refer to their suicidal thoughts as like their dark passenger. If you get the Dexter reference, I know, right? But like that it's there, and that they acknowledge it, and that they go on living their lives with these suicidal thoughts. They never take action, or haven't at this time, but they're always there. So they fall on that continuum of suicide. But I need to try something else. Talk about quality. You ready?
Oh, that is so dramatic. We need to get the graphic on here. We have to get the graphic on here.
I'm just going to draw a picture. That was the cue for the news. Chris Maxwell?
We're doing a new segment. We're doing a new segment. We planned this far in advance. This is not a...
So,
I'm just going to watch and wait to see what happens.
No, because you are in it. You're going to love it.
Okay.
You're going to love it.
I have no idea what's happening, though.
All right. So,
hit her.
Was this Friday that this came out? The XO Jane article.
Yeah.
Yes. I would like to like have people look at it, but I don't know how to do that, like archive the page thing, and I sure as shit don't want to actually like give them page clicks.
Jane, they took it down, but it's on the Wayback Machine from what I understand.
So they took it down then.
Yeah, they took it down real quick.
They took it down. I wrote them, the editors, because I've written for XO Jane a couple times. I wrote the editors an email directly, and I said, "Hey, not a good idea, dummies. Do you think?"
Yeah. So what was the article like? Do you want to explain about or what it was about?
What was it called? It was my former friend died, and her death was a blessing, or something.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was not an issue. It wasn't.
I got it. I got the link here to the original page and the response. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
The suicide part is not clear. Anyway, that's not super important. But she just dragged this girl through the mud.
Yeah. What a good friend.
And basically said that anyone who suffers from mental health issues doesn't have a life that's worth living. And that was really shitty to read.
Yeah. And it had a big response on a lot of different sites now. I see Gawker.
This girl got on Good Morning America because of it.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
But one thing that I noticed is that all of the people who wrote about how terrible this article was and how terrible this person was, and I totally agree, nothing useful came out of it. Nothing useful. It was just dragging her through the mud too. XO Jane asked me to write a response, and I wrote it with Leah Harris on Friday afternoon. Don't know if they're going to publish it yet. Have no idea, but it was kind of, well, let's meet people where they are. Here's how you talk to people, kind of practical tips on how not to be an asshole when you are dealing with somebody who deals with mental health stuff, because it's true. We're not We're not easy people to deal with all the time. Ask her.
Hola.
Felicidad.
Why are you on slow-mo? I don't know.
Just slowly go out of frame.
She's repping the New Mexico Suicide Prevention Coalition.
It's true.
That's right.
Good job.
That's badass.
Yeah.
So that went live. There was another article about what's up?
No, just that. I mean, it went outside of the field. Like I had people who don't work in the field ask me about that and what kind of things what was the impact. And I'm like, well, okay, there's a shit show and a clusterfuck. Like, which one do you want to talk about? But there was a lot of interesting conversation that came out of it. I think from like our side of the table too, and that like there were people arguing that not like April was really kind of talking about this in the sense that while not condoning the article itself or the person's viewpoint necessarily, or like what she was saying or how it was done, because at some point that's the editor's responsibility.
Yeah.
But that the point of the conversation that kind of surrounded that viewpoint and perspective was an important one to be aware of.
Yeah.
Right? Like that we have to know and understand and be able to respond to these kinds of things because people are hurt by some other people. That's an emotion that happens when that type of a relationship is experienced.
The relief.
Yeah.
The relief that isn't suffering, but the way that it was, the way that she put it forward was super offensive and really derogatory. And I don't know. I mean, she said that they weren't the greatest of friends, but she still referenced her as a friend.
They hadn't spoken in 5 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It honestly seems like a list, like just a list of Facebook posts, like about bitching.
Quentin shares relief that suffering has ended and not having a life worth living are two very different things, and that is an important
the thing is
difference.
It did result in some conversation that is kind of important, but even
it's kind of a no publicity is bad publicity, but
I don't know. Even the conversation surrounding it is again dragging this girl through the mud. There aren't many resources being shared. We're just saying how terrible she is, how terrible she is, how terrible she is, but nothing practical is coming out of it. And further, we do this stuff every week. We talk about this stuff every day. We could never get media coverage like this in useful, practical, kind thing. But the moment you do something shitty about someone, if it's shitty enough, everyone's going to pick it up. What's that about?
The gawker that is inside too many of us, that somebody else is going to do this, but I'm just going to watch it happen. And that pile up that happens when accidents, occur on roadways, and there's just something in our persons that are awful at times, and that's the dark side of social media and the ability to just put your thoughts out there into the world. See ya. Some of your thoughts don't need to be shared. They don't need to be said amongst large amounts of people. Just share them with your friend.
Yeah. This girl wrote an article last week that I read completely accidentally, which was also awful. So I kind of think she's a terrible human, but what can you do? I still don't know how useful it is to write articles about how terrible of a human she is, because she's also getting death threats out of this, the
awful comes from it too.
To be safe and also maybe have a thought that's shitty.
Yeah. Does she need to be dragged through the mud because of one article?
Like, someone just take her aside and be like, bro, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
These are things you cannot say, lady. Like, no.
Yeah, just keep that up there, put it in a diary.
So this is another thing that we've talked a lot about, Des, is that like when it comes to editorial responsibility, or like we've talked a lot about censorship and entertainment, like how does that play a role here? Like where where's the buck stop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really hard line to draw, I think, and I don't even think we, as a field, really have it figured out, because I don't know that I agree with all the guidelines. I have to question them and try to make educated choices when, especially when I'm building my stories for the project or when I'm editing.
Yeah.
So, and this is, we're people who know these guidelines by heart, but the guidelines aren't easily accessible. They're hidden on suicide prevention websites. I don't actually know how to fix this problem yet, but of course they're not going to know about it. And then you also have the problem of editors want clicks. That the editor who published,
it's competitive. Yeah, it's a competitive field now. Yeah. Even more so.
Who published this was thinking, we're going to get a lot of clicks out of this, and it doesn't matter if.
Yeah. What's the impact of it? And a lot of the concerns, because the journalists seem to get it more so because they're the ones, making the face-to-face contacts. They're the one having the phone calls and the exchanges with these, posters and the writers that come on their site. Yeah. But it's the editors who are behind the scenes that we don't always interact with, and we don't really know how to contact them because they're Oz.
Well, that's like,
and they're behind the screen.
Yeah,
the scene.
That's like my experience with People Magazine last year.
Yeah. That was really,
There were 3 or 4 editors on that. I never knew who they were. All I knew was they needed that one sentence where I talked about how I tried to kill myself, and if they didn't get that, they weren't going to publish the piece. So it was like, all right, bye, because I don't feel like all exposure is good exposure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
you have to know. Yeah, you have to know your limits and your boundaries, and the greater good of this. Is there value in sharing the article today that came out on the summit? Bart had responded to in the comment sections of a man in lethal emotional pain. I love that description. Who attempted suicide at a zoo, and is that really necessary to post graphic content about what happened, how it happened, and the aftermath of that, and what that implies and means for other people, because it is so sensationalistic, but it's also a real concern if these open
historically, that's public suicide attempts or public suicides are okay to cover in the media. And it's one of those things where you have to question that too. It's like, you want to cover suicide, but on the other hand, why? What is the purpose of this? And I think the media doesn't ask that question enough. Like, to what end am I doing this?
Yeah, the audience is going to be very different. You're going to have the purpose there is not suicide prevention; it's the suicide part.
Yeah.
So we're so focused on like preventing, and media could easily do both.
And looking now on the links, there are other articles that have shared and reported on it. So it wasn't just The Sun, as somebody shared, and I think Sorry Not Irish had shared that The Sun is kind of a just sensationalistic paper anyway that doesn't really edit their articles. They look for those clicks and those links. But it went legit on other sites that that could have done better.
Yeah, I haven't.
Hi, Bucklil 973. Hello, welcome. We have an open seat. Come join us. We're here for a few more minutes. Talk. Work it.
14.
Twerking.
14 of. Who's twerking?
Me, right now.
That's twerking?
Chris, I love your artwork. Just by the way. I love it. I love this
Baby
right
dog.
here, this red piece.
Oh, and it's gotten much more intricate. So.
Baby dog did that.
Old stuff. This is like circa 2014.
Oh, he's grown.
Yeah.
He worked hard on that art. That's what he did work hard on that art. Chris is very talented. Finger painting is his forte. He calls that red one chemtrails at dawn.
How did you know that?
And Tony just disclosed, so if you haven't read the live chat, you should read the live chat on Tony's experience and what brings him here and how pinnacle this last year has been for him in his life. And his wife joined tonight, is my understanding. Yep. I don't think anybody who has lost a loved one to suicide would say that it's a blessing, but we've certainly learned a fuck ton from it, and I can continue to learn a fuck ton from it. And when I share about Maureen, who I lost at 13, and what that means to me and how it impacts me differently at different stages of my life, and I'd still take that bitch back. She's great.
Well, I clicked on that article when someone sent it to me.
Don't you
because I felt it's like what Quentin said earlier. Blessing and relief are different. And when one of my close friends died, I felt relief and I felt guilty for that. But he was in so much pain. Yeah. And to be angry at him, I was like, well, okay, I guess you're not hurting anymore. There is a certain sense of relief there that I still feel guilty for saying, because I miss him. What would he have been like today? But there is that. I wouldn't say that his death was a blessing in any sense, though.
Or that it was inescapable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a friend just comment on my post about losing a best friend, and they were like, "You couldn't have saved her. You couldn't have done anything. You couldn't have avoided it." But I want to be like, no. That's why we're here doing this work. To not.
There's that dichotomy though, like in emotions, like how do you justify, or not justify, that's a terrible way to put it, but like where do you
justify my love?
Where do you kind of like draw the line at your own responsibility or like your own guilt, or like how do you handle that as it and even like we're saying in different parts of your life or different times in your life?
Yeah. Oh, how I have to have an answer for that deep dark question?
No, not at all.
What gets me through the day is that I am doing the best that I can with the tools that I have, and I'm actively seeking out how to do better and imparting that knowledge onto others, whether they be in my personal life or whether they be in my professional life, sharing as many resources as I can that fit the most appropriate times as they can, and timely information sharing, and knowing that especially in the work, that their crisis is not my crisis. I can't own it. I don't own it, and I am not expected to own it. And I will do anything I can, and I work face to face with individuals, and I wish I could just pick up these adults who are hurting so badly and fix what's broken inside of them. But I see the healing that does happen after a loss, and I hope to impart it to those that are still here, who are here staying and doing the best they can, nitty gritty clawing, because it's not all pretty butterflies and rainbows and huggy kisses. It can be really fucking ugly, and that's what I like about the different aspects of the suicide prevention world that I'm in. Whether it be like with the Stuck at Suicide group, or with the American Association of Suicidology group, or Common Ground, or just this random social media shenanigans I've gotten involved in, going to Philadelphia to meet these amazing people that hooked up with Des and get tattooed. Look at my tattoo.
Yeah.
It's really healing.
Yeah.
But it's
Amelia, awesome. Put your arm back so Fel can see.
Lighthouse. Nice.
Yeah. I don't know. That was a really cool experience.
So cool.
Because it took us out of the usual box, the usual walking box, or
the world.
Talking about a cause, or whatever it is that we do about causes.
We love walking. But Sean today, stuck on social work, did a hike.
I saw
for suicide prevention. That was pretty fucking cool. I took him up to the top and walked back down, or back up. I don't know. He walked a lot.
Yeah, I want to do
because hiking is walking. Did you know that hiking is just walking?
What did you think? What did you think it was?
Like, backpacks and sticks and like, like survival packs.
I think it depends on the level of difficulty of your hike.
With Cheryl Strayed. Okay.
Well, that bitch didn't fuck around. Hey, lady.
No, she did not.
Aim your feet that way.
That's beautiful, Tony. I love it. Our 7-year-old became the ambassador by James Hand. It's kind of a hard to read. I love it. I dream of a world that has no suicide and we won't have... I'm sorry, I can't read. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for young people 5 to 21 years old. Aww. I want to hug that little child of yours. Am I close enough?
And then we won't have much funerals. Yeah. Oh. That's
so
good.
And we also have 7-year-olds who are not only impacted by suicide loss, but 7-year-olds that are in suicidal pain, that have attempted themselves, that have died. We've young kids. It's not just, these are middle-aged men or, people in our age groups, or it's everyone. And we need to know better. We need to do better. We need to treat each other nicer.
Yeah. I've heard of the earliest I think I've heard of having suicidal thoughts and all the stories that I've 5 years old. So I feel like maybe we should get that in the K through 12.
Yeah.
Get it in there.
Really. I was at a conference and they were talking about the good behavior game, and it's like instilling like positive reinforcements and building up the child rather than punishing them, and building up social supports and things. And Chris probably knows more because he's got letters.
What? No, I don't.
Go on. Liar.
But no, it's a program that you start like really early, like kindergarten. I think is where they're even starting it now, and it's based on good behavior. You get rewarded for doing things that are outlined in the program. But what it ends up doing, and what you can see in the research, which is crazy, like resiliency skills, they are just like they shoot up. Coping, problem solving, resiliency, all of that just like skyrockets. And so when you look at control populations that don't get that game versus the ones that actually have the program, the kids that have the program, not only do they do really well while the program is being implemented, but like years and years and years down the line. The retention of those skills lasts for an incredibly long time. So that's kind of where, like in this field, that upstream kind of approach, that is kind of the genesis for a lot of the research that's going on with the upstream stuff. Because we know that if we can get to kids as early as possible, 5 years old, then we can give them the skills that allows them to live their lives without ever hopefully reaching a point where they're in crisis or where they're thinking about it. And there's been a lot of work in schools with like social emotional learning and things like that, but it's not comprehensive. It always takes money. It takes manpower and effort. Man and woman effort. But
it takes people effort.
Yes, the person.
Everyone.
And then sources of strength. Have you guys heard of sources of strength? That's another really cool one. That does
I didn't go to their booth. I should have gone to their booth at AAS.
Cool stuff.
I was intimidated.
But no, because they had like boas and
all sorts of things.
Yeah.
I didn't go. I haven't done it before. I didn't go to it.
I recall.
Why didn't you go with me?
I went with Chris. There are pictures of me like humping him from behind wearing a boa.
I think you were spanking, but yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a tough time.
Wait, what were you doing? Maybe I haven't even. Oh God.
You should probably see. That's live on the internet, Chris. All right. My turtle is interested in you all. I'm interested in your turtle. one of those things we're doing is starting next summer is art-based camp. Awesome. I've seen great improvements with our art therapy program at the agency I work at risk. We've worked to paid for us. That's awesome. Hello, turtle. What do turtles do? Do they make noises? Turtle.
Yes, they
turtle. Like go turtle.
Turtle noises.
I want to talk to that turtle.
Turtle has a name.
Hey, Darren, very nice. Well, we're actually coming to the end of our night, and I need to go to sleep and stop annoying my husband. So, final thoughts. Final.
I'm gonna high five my ladies here.
Oh yes. Oh, we're gonna. Of course, Des beat us all.
Final thoughts.
Chris, go.
Okay. Try, and I hate saying this. Oh yeah, no, wait, hold on. Final thoughts. 1, don't be a dick. 2,
done.
Listen to people where they're at and how they're feeling right now.
Love it. Solid.
Number 3, there are no steps. There is no one answer that's going to fix anything.
This is true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I cannot do a show without saying this. Oh. If you're thinking about going out and doing social media with suicide prevention, or if you're thinking of just being an advocate in any way, just do it.
Just do it, like Nike.
Yeah.
Do it. We're not sponsored by Nike.
Okay, but then the next thing we're gonna have to talk about is how to do it, because how often do you get emails?
Ooh, we will do that.
I want to do this thing, but how do I do it? Because I read my
tag us, like us, follow all of our stuff on social media. You can find us at the hashtag SPSM, SPSM Unpacked. She is at Desiree Stage. He is at Chris Maxwell with no vowels, and I'm at 8toes84. So hit us up if you want to learn more, do more, be more. We're gonna help you do it.
And we'll have to do it better.
Or just give you some likes on your page, and that could be a thing that might impact the stuff you do. That's what you're doing.
Shit out of you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. SPSMchat.com. Find us. Join us next Sunday for another rousing game of What's in Amelia's Mason Jar.
Hipster.
Okay. I love you guys. I'm gonna stop recording.
Bye, Boo.
Chris is don't shit where you eat.